Well, my grandfather was a tiny landlord. Was considered after liberation was considered to be a bad guy. So I was I know how tough it was when I was a kid.
You tried to get into 3 colleges. Mm-hmm. Each time they rejected you.
No, I tried. There's examination that young people, if you want to go university, you have to take the examinations. So I failed 3 times, but a lot of fail. I failed for funny things that I failed a key primary school test for 2 times, and I failed 3 times for the middle schools, and. You will never believe in Hangzhou, my city, there's only 1 middle school that lasts only 1 year. It was changed from primary school to middle school because our graduates of our school, no middle school accept us because we were too bad. Yeah. They would become a middle school.
What effect did it have, though, being rejected?
Well, I think we have to get used to it. We're not that good. Even today, we still have a lot of people reject us. I think when I graduate from universities, and before I, for 3 years, I tried to fill in the universities. So I applied jobs for 30 times, got rejected. I went for a police. They said, no, you're not good. I went to even the KFC. When KFC came to China, come to my city, 24 people went for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only one guy. And we went for police. 5 people, 4 of them accepted. I was the only guy that I received it. So to me, being turned down, rejected. Oh, by the way, I told you that I applied for Harvard for 10 times, rejected. I know I'll be rejected. I just don't want to say that.
Yeah, sorry now. 10 times you wrote them and said, I'd like to come to Harvard.
Yeah. And then I told myself, someday I should go teach there, baby.
I think that can be arranged.
I asked a friend of yours, what's Mukesh Ambani all about? He said 2 words, humility and fearlessness. That's an unusual combination, Mukesh.
For me, my father, Dhirubhai Ambani, has been my teacher, and from him I have learned that in success and prosperity, humility is the most important virtue, and in adversity, it's fearless, which is the most important virtue. Let me share with you a sentimental moment. February 16, 1986. My father and I were watching a cricket match, and suddenly he said, Mukesh, my back, it's hurting. And in 5 or 10 seconds, that was his first stroke. And he had passed off, into unconsciousness.
He was unconscious?
Doctors had told us that the next 24 hours are critical. All of us were there around the clock. When he gained consciousness, again, as luck would have it, I was in front of him. He looked at me, and the first thing he said was, don't worry, I will make it. That shows you the kind of, he didn't ask, where am I, what happened to me. He was more worried about, and I had faith in God, and that's the only thing that keeps you going. And I think that strikes me even now, in terms of, it's indelible that, normally, people would be worried about what happened to me and where am I.
No.
And here is this person who says, you don't worry, I'm still around for you and I'll make it.
Warren, how would you define true success?
Well, I've said many times that if you get to be 65 or 70 and later, and the people that you want to have love you actually do love you, you're a success. I've never seen anybody that reaches that age. I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that's in extreme poverty or pain or something, but I've never seen anybody that, if they have a lot of people that love them, that is other than happy. And I've seen some very, very wealthy people that they give testimonial dinners to and name schools after and everything. And nobody loves them, you know. Their own kids would say, he's in the attic, you know. They never came.
What are, say, 3 pieces of advice you would give to people who are looking to succeed in business?
Well, by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, and both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. And, I mean, if you can't communicate, somebody says, you know, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, you know, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas. And that's relatively easy. I did it myself with the Dale Carnegie course. Some people wish I'd taken a shorter course now in terms of my talking later on. But it's just hugely important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you. I mean, the second thing, which I'll get a certain criticism for not living it, but I do tell those students, you know, that if I gave you a car and it'd be the only car you get in the rest of your life, you'd take care of it like you can't believe. Any scratch, you'd fix that moment. You'd read the owner's manual. You'd keep a garage and do all these things. And you get exactly one mind and one body in this world. And you can't start taking care of it when you're 50. By that time, you'll have rusted out if you haven't done anything. So you should really make sure that you just remember that you just got one mind and body to get through life with and to do the most with it.
What about life advice?
Well, life advice is, you know, the most important thing, aside from the things I've talked about already, is really who you associate with. You want to associate with people that are better than you are. I mean, basically, you'll go in the direction of the people that you associate with, and you want to have the right heroes. You want people, if you want to emulate somebody, you better pick very carefully who you want to emulate. And when obviously you can't pick your parents, they're going to have an enormous influence on you, but you don't get a choice on that. But you get choices as you go down the line, and who you admire, who you want to copy, and the most important for most people in terms of that decision is their spouse. It's also important in terms of a partner in business, but the partner in life is the most important one. You want to pick a spouse that's better than you are.
Before we move on, here's a quick challenge for you. It's been a long time since I've asked someone to subscribe, so if you would leave a like and a subscribe, we'll be glad that you did that.
Why do I? I believe the answer is that deep inside of all of us, there's a primal desire to do something important with our lives. And Freud said there are only 2 things important in life: love and work. He did not say love and work were the same thing. I'm passionate about my work. It continues to give me great satisfaction and a sense of who I am. But passion and love are different. At least for me, they are. I love my family, a few precious friends, 4 cats, 2 dogs, cherry blossoms in Japan, Pacific Island beaches and bays, and the majestic Sierra Nevada mountains where it all began for me. My feelings about work are very intense, but quite different. There's a TV advertisement for the United States Navy that says, it's not just a job, it's an adventure. That's exactly how I feel about my years in Silicon Valley. An interesting, challenging, all-consuming adventure. Like any ongoing adventure, I have no idea how it ends, but I know it will, for me and a long, long time from now for all of you. But today, graduates, you are beginning your great adventure. Your generation will change the world as every generation does. You will invent new technologies and create new types of art. Impossibilities will be transformed into possibilities, and unexpected opportunities will present themselves. You will change the world, and the world will change you as you learn and grow and discover more about yourself. Remember this, graduates. In a constantly changing world, what is possible is a moving target. Don't be afraid to experiment and try lots of different things. And don't let the experts discourage you when you challenge the status quo. Like Mark Twain says, what's an expert anyway? Just some guy from out of town. Each of you has a chance to discover who you are rather than who you should be, a chance to live your dreams, not the dreams of others. Each of you has an obligation to commit to a righteous cause, one that elevates you and improves the conditions of humanity and the planet. Soon, many of you will begin a new job. I hope it interests you and challenges you and rewards you with a sense of purpose and satisfaction. But if it doesn't, keep searching. It's out there. It might take a while, but keep searching until you find a job that ignites your passions, like I did. Even better, you just might find one that you love. Thank you, and congratulations.
We want to work in a place with purpose. Love that. We want to make an impact, whatever that means. Somebody articulates some sort of purpose. There's lots of free food, and yet for some reason, they're still not happy.
You want to go on a date? You don't even have to learn how to be like, hey. You don't even have to learn and practice that skill. You don't have to be the uncomfortable one who says yes when you mean no and says no when you mean no, but yes when you... You don't have to swipe right. Bang, I'm a stud. Right? You don't have to learn the social coping mechanisms, right? Everything you want, you can have instantaneously. Everything you want, instant gratification, except job satisfaction and strength of relationships. There ain't no app for that. I keep meeting these wonderful, fantastic, idealistic, hardworking, smart kids. They've just graduated school. They're in their entry-level job. And I sit down with them and I go, how's it going? They go, I think I'm gonna quit. I'm like, why? They're like, I'm not making an impact. I'm like, you've been here 8 months. It's as if they're standing at the foot of a mountain and they have this abstract concept called impact that they want to have in the world, which is the summit. What they don't see is the mountain. I don't care if you go up the mountain quickly or slowly, but there's still a mountain. And so what this young generation needs to learn is patience. That some things that really, really matter, like love, or job fulfillment, joy, love of life, self-confidence, a skill set, any of these things, all of these things take time. Sometimes you can expedite pieces of it, but the overall journey is arduous and long and difficult. And if you don't ask for help and learn that skill set, you will fall off the mountain.